In 2008, there was a lot of horror movies that tried to grab your attention. Big productions like I Am Legend, Cloverfield, The Strangers, Saw 5, The Eye, The Ruins. There was some good independent horror movies too, like The Midnight Meat Train, Dead Girl, Eden Lake. But there was one movie that went under the radar, and I think the reason is, at that time, the title of the movie was actually bad, like real bad. But today, I'm here to make the case for Alien Raiders. In the spring of 2009, I was living in downtown Toronto, and every week I was going at my local HMV in the hopes of finding horror movies that nobody knew about. So I was going through the pile and I saw this movie and I was like, that looks really sick. Like, you see the alien, it says at the top a sci-fi shocker. How bad can it be? So it's kind of funny because on the cover it says sci-fi, but in reality, it is a horror movie. And in my opinion, it's an actual really good independent horror movie. It's one of those that's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat because of this little parasite. Before we go forward, my name is Danny, your host for the War Room Tapes. And spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! You cannot say that I did not warn you here, alright? If you have the memory of a goldfish, you can move ahead and keep watching. If you don't, well, there will be spoilers. So Alien Raiders was made by the production company Raw Feed, and it was a direct-to-DVD movie, and it was, I think, distributed, but it was owned by Warner Home Video. I don't think if the camera is going to pick this up, I don't think so, but it's a Warner Home Video direct-to-DVD movie. And what we do here in the War Room, we're going to read the back of the box. Even if I don't have enough light, I'm gonna try my best. The back of the box reads as such. Fresh veggies on aisle 1. Fresh kills throughout the store. Something terrible is happening at Hastings Market. Something bloody. Something deadly. Something inhuman. And caught up in the grisly horror inside the market are shoppers turned hostages on unearthly alien terrors, and a dedicated commando band of raiders on a search and destroy mission to stop the intruders dead cold no matter where they hide. From Raw Feed, creators of the Rest Stop and Otis Shockers, comes the sci-fi horror tale Alien Raiders, a nerve-shredding battle for human survival against aliens that invade our world by invading our bodies. Be alert, beware, be afraid. The movie was directed by Ben Rock, and it was shot in 15 days. And the actual budget that was revealed at that time was around $2 million. And somehow, it ends up with a perfect 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. You can see it like right there. But if you look at the fans though, the fans look at this and they were like, that movie is shit. Well, it kind of makes sense because the title is trash. When you look at the title, Alien Raiders, what does that even mean? So when you're gonna watch this movie, it's literally a supermarket siege body snatcher flick in the style of The Mist. They are locked inside of a grocery store and, well, they are stuck there. And yes, I know what you're gonna say. Danny, another alien movie. Yeah, shut up and listen for once. I can guarantee you that you're gonna like this one. It's independent, it's raw feed energy. See what I did there? So picture this. Hastings Market, a small grocery store in a small town. It's closing time and the store is winding down. And then, that's the key part here, These masked, armed motherfuckers just stormed the place. Alright? They have their guns, hostages on the floor, one employee gets shot right off the gate. It's absolute chaos. And you're just 5 minutes in. So you have the leader of the crew, his name is Aaron Reiter, and he's played by Carlos Bernard. And this crew is not your random psychos here, alright? It's a tight little unit of scientists and specialists who have been hunting down these very specific parasites, aliens. These parasites, they just like to climb inside of human bodies and they wear them like cheap suits. They've got this guy named Spooky, played by the actor Philip Newby, and Spooky is their detector. He walks the hostages, looks them over, and points at the infected ones because he has a gift. He's able to determine if a human has the alien inside of them. When Spooky gets taken out early by a security cop inside of the store, the whole operation shifts. Now they've got to use a cruder method. Finger test. Yeah, you heard me. They start cutting fingers off people to see how the blood reacts. Well, what movie does it remind you? Oh yeah, The Thing. Because the alien parasite does something nasty to the tissue. Outside, the cops are surrounding the place, and one of those cops is Seth Stedman. It's played by the actor, I think it's Matthew St. Patrick or Matthew Patrick. And his stepdaughter, Whitney, is one of the employees trapped inside. So you've got this ticking clock of a hostage situation where the people holding the guns are actually trying to save the world, and the people outside think they are dealing with terrorists. The whole movie stays locked inside that supermarket, exactly like the movie The Mist. You feel the fluorescent lights humming, and every single person in that store might already be something else. So, as you can see here, the tension is rising slowly from the beginning until the end. Ben Rock shot this thing on the Panasonic HPX 3000, and according to IMDb, it's considered one of the first feature film to ever use that flagship HD camera. There's this slightly digital, slightly harsh quality to the image that somehow makes the supermarket feel more real and more hostile at the same time. The actor who plays Logan was supposed to just carry a prop camera. Instead, he asked for a real working camera with tapes and batteries, and he just started filming during his scenes. So it's kind of funny because nobody actually took that seriously at first, but all his footage actually ended up in the movie. Because when they look at the footage, they actually realize that it was just pure gold, because you had that feel of found footage in the movie. So you had the perspective of someone in the movie. So when you were watching the movie, you had that found footage that makes it even more real. Most of the effects of this movie are practical effects. When the parasites show themselves, when the infected are being transformed, like it's sticky, it looks ugly, like there's no CGI bullshit, maybe except for the finger at one point, but I mean, some people say it's just a practical effect, some others say it's just bad CGI, but most of the actual effects in this movie is just pure latex with fake blood and just pure commitment. And what's funny about this movie too is the supermarket itself becomes a character because everybody's stuck in it. So you have the front, right, of the aisles of the supermarket, and eventually they end up in the back room. Let's talk about the cast a little bit. One of my favorite characters is Sterling. She's played by Courtney Ford. She's the doctor of the group. She makes the finger-cutting scenes feel clinical and horrifying at the same time. When she pulls out the knife and the cutting board, you know she's in for something. And then you have two commander-in-chief. You have one inside, one outside. The one inside is Carlos Bernard, and he plays the character Aaron Reiter. He's the head of the Raiders, and yeah, his character type is pretty much, I will burn the world to save it. The other one is Matthew St. Patrick, and he plays the character Seth. He grounds the entire outside the store storyline because he has no clue what's happening inside. So he's in contact with Ryder, but he doesn't know if he's truly a good guy or maybe he's not. And one of his problems is, well, his stepdaughter is stuck there as well. She's a hostage. The two young people are actually really good. Jeffrey Lycon and Samantha Streets. I'm pretty sure it's Lycon, but I'm not sure. Lycon. He plays Benny, and Samantha plays Whitney. And Whitney, as you may guess already, is the stepdaughter of the police officer. They are going to realize really quickly that they have to grow up real fast inside of that store. All the other supporting actors, every single one of them shows up ready to play. I think it makes a lot of sense when you watch it. They don't feel weak at all. Like, the cast was really good. For a $2 million budget movie film in 15 days, I don't think I have anything to say about the actors. 15 days. All right, remember that. It took 15 days to shot. So it's really quick when you think about it. It's a low budget movie. We don't know any of the cast. Well, I didn't know any of the cast. I don't know if you guys know any of them. The only guy I knew was the director, because Ben Rock came out of the Blair Witch orbit. He was a production designer on the first Blair Witch movie project. Something funny about the supermarket is there's actually no real product names. In fact, they're not even real products. Every single packaging that you're gonna see in the supermarket is literally faked. In fact, the Logan Cam story is the purest production lesson here. Sometimes the best ideas come from an actor who refuses to treat his prop like a prop. That footage gave the editor options. It gave the movie some texture that you will never had otherwise. So it truly feels like a found footage in some way. Direct to DVD was the plan from the beginning, so there was no theatrical dreams here. Just make it good enough so that people who rent it on a Friday night feel like they got their money's worth. And I truly believe that they succeeded. Alien Raiders is one of those movies that should have been bigger. Like, don't forget that the critics who saw it, they just loved it. There's a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes because we just take everything we know about this movie and we're like, yeah, that's actually better than I thought. Fans were harder on it, but look at the score, 34% on Rotten Tomatoes on the fans' side. But I think it makes sense because when you look at the title, right, you have Alien Raiders, and the title it sounds weird. You look at the cover too, and you're like, I don't know, man. If this cover was made today, there's big chances people will say, oh, that's AI. I bet $10 that people will look at the cover if that movie came out today. I can't believe that this company is using AI. Like, I would not be surprised. But the movie itself is tight, mean, and I think it's really smart. Like I said, you have an actual movie to watch, and within the movie, you have the found footage at the same time that completes the storyline. And also another thing that people should not dismiss. When people were going to their local Blockbuster at that time, right? You pick, like, imagine you pick this in your hand and you look at it, right? And then on the other side, you have other choices. I Am Legend, Ruins, Cloverfield. Like, are you gonna rent this? Of course no. Of course not. You're gonna rent the other one. Of course you're gonna rent the other ones. The late 2000s were this weird, beautiful window where direct-to-DVD horror was still allowed to take big swings. Like, you had raw feed movies like this one, right? But if you remember correctly, there was another one called After Dark Horror Fest stuff. You had all these little companies trying to feed the Blockbuster shelves with actual movies instead of just pure landfill of, is it good or it has to be trash? Look at the names. It has to be trash. Look at the names. Or how many times we said that when we were going to our Blockbusters. But eventually, when you saw the banner like raw feed, you knew what to expect. The same thing as when you were looking at the After Dark Horror Fest banner, you actually knew what you were going to expect as well. Like, don't get me wrong, Alien Raiders is not trying to be the next big franchise at all. It's not trying to be that next blockbuster movie like The Thing. is just trying to be a nasty little 85 minutes pressure cooker, and I think it truly succeeded. So do yourself a favor, track this one down. I highly recommend it. It's actually better than I thought. I watched it many times since 2008. It's always one of these movies that I always recommend. Every time someone asks me, Danny, can you recommend a movie that I never watched before? Every single time, I recommend this one. Because this movie is going to keep you on your toes. And you're going to wonder from the beginning till the end, who has the parasite? Thank you very much for watching this little episode. And let me know in the comment section if you ever watched this movie. If you liked it, did you enjoy it? Maybe you did not like it. Maybe you're going to say, Danny, you're just full of shit. I don't like when you say watch movies like they're bad. Who knows? Thank you very much for watching this episode of the War Room Tapes for the movie Alien Raiders. Subscribe to the channel if you like horror movies. Leave me a comment below. Tell me about movies you watched recently. Maybe I did not watch them. Recommend me stuff. Like, don't be a stranger. Like this video on your way out. Until then, I see you in the next one. And just keep watching scary stuff. Scary stuff is always fun. I'm gonna make the case for Alien Raiders.